Hey, this is Jim at Broadfield Distributing, joining you every Thursday at 1 p.m. for Broadfield's Liquid Lunch and Learn. Today I am excited to talk to you about some great new features that Roland has added to their professional video mixers, as well as some specials that we have on some of their entry-level mixers that are really going to make them a hot commodity in the marketplace. Before we do, I do like to start off every week with a nice beer. Today I have the Dogfish Head 90-minute IPA, one of my favorite from the Dogfish Brewing Company. And if you are ever down in the Baltimore, Maryland area, Dogfish Head is brewed out of that area, and they actually have a brewery right inside the Baltimore airport. So for those who travel southwest out of New York, I'm sure you've stopped in that Baltimore airport, and definitely worth grabbing. Awesome. Do we have a countdown timer so I know how much time until we are ready to start the broadcast?
Sorry, Jim, it's not going today.
No, that's totally fine. So today is 6 de Mayo, which follows up on Broadfield's fun event that we had yesterday. We had the Long Island Taco and Tequila Experience pull up in our warehouse dock here and right in our parking lot. We enjoyed unlimited tacos and probably way too much tequila, but it was a great time, and it's a great way to kind of build the team activities and to really get to know the people that we work with every day in a more personal and casual setting. It was a great time. Definitely something I look forward to, and we're already planning our next event. So without further ado, let's get into today's show. Roland has announced a brand new feature that is allowing the V-60HD and some of their other professional mixers to actually control PTZ cameras. Now, I do not have the V-60HD on the table here in front of me because as soon as this feature was released, we sold out of our inventory and we are now waiting on new units to arrive. The Roland V-60HD is now your single operator switching and PTZ camera controlled device. PTZ cameras obviously are making a huge sweep throughout the industry, especially in response during the pandemic. A lot of people are looking at PTZ cameras as a great way to promote social distancing. If I don't need to hire additional camera people to come into the room and I can use a robotic camera to do that, it allows me to broadcast more events. It also allows you to create more interesting productions because you can set up multiple cameras in a venue and all have them controlled from the central location, which in this case is the Roland V-60HD. This is your all-in-one solution. It eliminates the added expense of an additional PTZ camera controller. You no longer need to worry about a serial or network controller to the PTZ cameras. You can do it right from the Roland V-60HD or Roland's RCS software. Instantly recall PTZ memory presets right from the panel of the switcher, and there is no need to compromise on camera quality. I have a slide that we're going to go into in a minute that shows you all of the cameras in the marketplace that the Roland V-60HD supports. These include Panasonic, anything from Sony or any camera that uses the Sony Visca IP protocol, PTZ Optics, which is a great affordable solution, and of course is available from us right here at Broadfield Distributing. So the switches that support this new PTZ control capability are the Roland V-60HD, the XS62S, the VR50HD Mark II, the V600UHD, and of course the V1200HD, which is really their top-of-the-line flagship switcher with interchangeable modules that can really be customized to fit any production application. The one we're going to focus on today, though, is the Roland V60HD because it is a great, affordable switcher with both SDI and HDMI capabilities, and now that PTZ camera controller. The V60HD sells for just $3,100 with the new pricing released by Roland. It gives you four SDI inputs, as well as two HDMI inputs, a multi-view output, and HDMI outputs, so you can fit this into any production environment. Check out this clip that Roland put together on the PTZ camera control with the V-60HD.
Roland's V-60HD version 3.0 firmware transforms the V-60HD into a single operator production hub for your events and live streams. Control select pan, tilt, zoom camera models from leading brands directly from the V-60HD. Models from different brands can even be used on the same control network. The V-60HD's remote control software makes setting up, storing, and recalling PTZ memory presets easy. Connect a USB gaming controller for precise, hands-on command of cameras. Support talent during camera transitions with Tally signal integration, from the V-60HD to cameras over the LAN network. PTZ control is now available on the V-60HD and other select Roland switchers.
The version 3 firmware is available for download now, so if you do have customers that have the Roland switches that I showed on that previous list here, they can download that new firmware and add this capability to their switcher. For those that we're selling now, the V-60HD, it will have that version 3.0 firmware. That's why we're waiting for more units to come into stock. And it'll have that PTZ camera control capability we just saw in the video clip. You control PTZ cameras directly from the switcher itself, using a USB gaming controller like the one they showed in that video, or in Roland's RCS, Roland Control Software. RCS allows you to take control of those PTZ cameras and a lot of the features of the Roland V-60HD itself. We pulled another video clip to play for you now.
The default settings on the video switcher will normally work for a single camera system, but for more cameras, the setup process is as follows. Set a unique IP address for each camera by connecting a web browser directly to the camera and entering its current IP address. This will bring up the camera software menu, where you can then make any necessary changes. Once all those settings are made, you can control the movement or other parameters of each camera directly from your Roland switcher. If you're using a model switcher that has remote control software available, like the V-60HD, you can control that from your computer screen. My laptop has a touchscreen, which makes it even more intuitive.
Of course, the video clips that you see here are available for you to update your web pages or to share with your customers to help your presentation on the V-60HD. If you need any of those video clips and you don't want to pull them from Roland's site directly, reach out to me and my team and we'll be able to get those to you, jim@broadfield.com. So here's the camera compatibility chart I was talking about that shows you how these Roland switches can control the most popular PTZ cameras in the industry. And what's great is you could use multiple cameras from multiple vendors in the same production environment, and Roland, it won't make any difference to the Roland switcher. PTZ optics, you'll have PTZ control, focus, exposure, and tally. Same is true with Panasonic and of course Sony Vista over IP. Now if you look at the Sony column, you will see that the bird dog cameras, the BDP 100-200, are listed here as well. These bird dog cameras use the Sony Vista over IP protocol and are therefore controllable with the Roland V-60HD. And then you'll see the Avonic cameras and JVC as well. PTZ optics cameras, the Roland V-60HD, and the P20HD, which is their new replay device, make this a great package for those that are doing live sports production. When you combine the SDI input capability of the V-60HD, the PTZ camera control that'll communicate directly to the cameras, and the replay device with the new P20HD, you have now from Roland, with these PTZ cameras, a great system that you could set up on any field, anywhere. I also want to take some time now to talk to you about some of the great new prices and specials from Roland. because they really have dropped the prices on quite a bit of products, starting with this guy right here, the V1HD, which is now a 40% price reduction, best price ever for this HDMI switcher at just $595 MSRP. They also added the same with the streaming bundle, which adds the UVC01 HDMI encoder for just $100 more at $695. This pricing, with Roland's reputation for durability and pro audio capability, made this very attractive, especially going up against other products in the industry like the Blackmagic ATEM switches. You can also now purchase the UVC01 on its own, which is the HDMI in to USB out encoder for $250. Roland also has new pricing on the V02HD, which is their 2 HDMI mixer for just $350. Now, if you remember our past webinar, we did a demo showing the V02HD with the Roland foot pedals, where now in a podcast studio, the same person who's on mic and as the talent can switch their production and add some production quality to their show. The V02, the V02HD with the streaming bundle adding the UVC01 is just $595. And then, of course, the special on the VR1HD has been extended as well at $995. The VR1HD is a super interesting switcher because it adds the XLR audio input capability. When you're selling into house of worship, education, concert venues or event venues, and they want to take their soundboard and take the audio out of that soundboard and patch that into the switcher itself, the VR1HD is one of the most affordable models that gives them that XLR input capability to do that. And I also want to mention that on these switches or mixers, the HDMI input on a lot of these devices have a scaler built in. So that means if your customers are inputting presentation materials from a laptop like this, they can input that into the scaler input of the device, and it will automatically make that signal look the best that it can possibly look, even when coordinated and switching back and forth with the video feeds. If you have any questions on the new features of the V60HD or of the new prices on any of these Roland switches, give your Broadfield sales team a call at 800-634-5178. And until next week, every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, cheers.
Thank you for joining us for this week's Broadfield Live Liquid Lunch and Learn. We go live to our dealers on LinkedIn and at news.broadfield.com/live every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Join us next week for a great webinar on New Blue software. Broadfield Distributing is a value-added distributor of live production, streaming, video editing, and storage products. We only sell to resellers. We are always looking for new dealers. So call us at 1-800-634-5178 or email sales@broadfield.com. You'll like doing business with Broadfield because we make it easy to do business.